But this morning's assembly we are starting a new series called Brave. We'll be looking at the stages of tough stuff. Here's a video to explain a little bit more.
So, life threw something rubbish at you, and maybe it was something annoying, like something was cancelled or changed at the last minute, or perhaps it was something bigger, something that hit you like an emotional slap in the face. Whatever it is, did you know there's stages to how your mind works through tough stuff? Number 1, shock. Your brain is basically reeling, and before you get into thinking stuff through, first you've got to give yourself space to react. Find spaces and people who feel safe, or just withdraw and be on your own if that feels safer. Number 2 is about working it through. When your brain is over that initial shock, it's time to process. And processing is all about getting your thoughts moving around your head. It's a bit like tennis, and there's basically 3 ways that you can do this. On your own, make space to think, walk, sit, read, do whatever works for you. Or with your mates. You know, when we hang out and chat with no agenda and no pressure, that can really help us process, so why not grab a coffee and hang out somewhere? But sometimes, you need a coach. If emotions feel powerful, painful or overwhelming, or if you know that you're really struggling, maybe it's time to talk to someone who can help hook you up with a good therapist. Okay, the final stage is all about closure. Closure is about when you start feeling able to move on, and this requires some big emotional steps, acceptance, forgiveness, letting go, so it can really take time. You've got to trust your brain's timing on this. Try and go with the flow and surf those waves instead of trying to fight them.
Someone who has experienced some tough stuff is singer Justin Bieber. After being discovered on YouTube in the late 2000s, Bieber blew up what felt like overnight. Bieber's Baby became one of the most popular music videos ever and shot him right into the public eye. Millions of young teens swooned over the new star, while others bashed him outright. Unsurprisingly, Bieber found it difficult to adjust to his heightened profile, quickly going off the rails, hitting tabloid front pages on a regular basis for teen pranks, drugs, turning up late for gigs, smashing up sports cars. He followed in the footsteps of many young troubled stars. However, he was still unfulfilled despite the money, awards and fame. I started doing pretty heavy drugs at 19 and abused my relationships, Bieber wrote in an Instagram post. I became resentful, disrespectful to women, hiding behind a shell of a person that I had become. And Bieber's mother also went through tough times. As a young adult, she was considering suicide. She found out months later that she was pregnant with Justin. Unmarried and afraid of how she ruined her own life, she at first was scared to turn to the church. But when she did, they taught her the love of Christ. Then she decided that she was going to raise Justin to know him too. Despite what he went through growing up, Justin has now found peace. He says, "I felt like I could never turn it around. It's taken me years to bounce back from all of these terrible decisions, fix broken relationships, and change relationship habits. Now Justin is happier, healthier and stronger than ever because of his faith. Luckily, God blessed me with an extraordinary people who love me for me," Bieber said, adding that the best season of his life, marriage, is teaching him patience, trust, commitment, kindness, humility, and all the things it looks like to be a good man. And the word of the week is, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid and do not be discouraged."